years. God damn it. Oh, that was a lot. That was heavy, but it's time to switch over to P. Diddy. Let's go on over to that surprise witness. And wherever she is in her broadcast, we're going to jump right on in. Whew. Not Naomi Judd, Jesus. Not Naomi.
You're supposed to not be really able to make any judgments on people based on
what did she decide to do with her hair today?
Their race under the law. That's what the law says. Now, do cops go out here acting a fool? Absolutely.
What she's talking about right now is the fact that the judge most likely has removed juror number 6. There was some inconsistencies. It doesn't sound like he actually lives in New York. It sounds like he actually lives in New Jersey. And he just happens to be black.
Trying to tell y'all, like, we have laws for a reason and we have stuff that exists like this for a reason. So, juror alternate 1 was, already decided. This was already alternate 1. And they already have numbers assigned to them. Just like the jurors already have numbers assigned to them.
I had to reset the quality, make it look clean.
So this one that just came on is a 57-year-old accountant from Westchester County. He was promoted this morning. He's white male. He will replace juror number 6, a black male who gave inconsistent answers about his residence.
I didn't know that.
But there could be an issue with another juror over conversations he might have had with a colleague. Okay, we're getting more context about this other juror. Over conversations he had with a colleague. He was questioned by the judge on Friday and had his phone to Subramanian. I don't know what this sentence is supposed to say.
Handed his phone.
Maybe he had to give his phone to the judge. I don't know what that means. The judge is going to ask the panelists more questions after the testimony today. Wow. They should have sequestered this jury.
So they should have sequestered the jury. Not only that,
but let's go to Inner City Press.
It may be important for you to know that during this entire trial, there's been a set of jurors who are not official jurors who've been also watching the trial in the courtroom just in case they have to be pulled in, just like that alternate number 1.
This one, right? Excuse me. I need to take a sip of water.
Girl, I'm with you. I'm gonna take some water too. You might want to stop drinking that Spring Mountain bullshit and get you some Pellegrino.
What did you work on in this case? 2 summary charts I was asked to verify the accuracy of. Can you describe the documents underlying these charts?
I can't open my water because I got that Diddy oil on my hands.
Is in the messages in the chart. Christina Karam. And whose cell phone number is this? Brendan Paul.
I'm trying to keep it live.
Respond to Mr. Lopez about seeing the escort. Okay. So this is a question. Who's Mr. Lopez?
Turn my page.
Who's Mr. Lopez?
Who is Mr. Lopez?
I don't know who this is. But anyway, it's a text message exchange between Christina Karam and someone named Mr. Lopez. And someone saw an escort. Who's Mr. Lopez? I'm
going to see if I can find out who Mr. Lopez is.
Someone named Mr. Lopez apparently saw an escort and told Christina Karam about it. Is it Perez, maybe? Jonathan Perez? No, because he said he never saw one. Okay, so how did KK, the chief of staff, respond to whoever Mr. Lopez is about seeing the escort? And the expert, she answers, well, Christina Karam responded with 4 laughing emojis and said, how long is he going to stay awake? I don't know, who is he? Again, we're going to need more context. Maybe CNN or Washington Post will give it. Okay, let's move to the next text. This one's from January 30th, 2023. So this would have been this would have been January, early the year that Cassie ended up later that year suing Diddy. Okay, so what we're looking at, this is an audio file from January 2023. It's about 2.5-ish years ago. Ms. Foster, Please play the first minute and 10 seconds of this audio. Woo, girl. All right, this is good. This is good. Ooh, I can't wait for Rabbit to read this transcript.
I know, right?
So they play a minute and 10 seconds. They played a minute and 10 seconds of an audio file. The audio file, so far, what we have so far from Inner City Press, he's saying audio file is playing female voice. Two things were weird. The only person who knew was you. And someone found an iPad?
My music is messy.
And the expert says, yes, that's what was said. Okay, next question.
Thank you for hitting the like button.
What
I appreciate
did Christina
that.
Karam
Thank you.
say in this? The expert says, she says, he's going to the Four Seasons and he wants you to bring Gatorade and chicken noodle soup. The assistant U.S. attorney said, okay, I'll read these next ones. I'll be Dave Shirley. I don't know who's Dave Shirley, y'all. I don't know who any of these people are, but hopefully we're going to find out soon. So they're just going through different pieces of evidence. Okay, the first evidence they did was a text about an escort. It's somebody's like, I saw an escort, and it's Christina Karam laughing emojis. Ha ha ha, how long is he going to stay awake? Now, who is he? I don't know. Maybe we'll get some more updates from the other sources. Now, that was a text message. Okay, moving on. Then they heard an audio file having to do with maybe something different. This has to do, this had to do with somebody saw an escort. This audio file, though, has to do with, I think it's the recording. I think it's the recording between KK and someone. I don't know who. But it may be the Lopez one. Look, audio file, January 2023. Yes, please play the first minute, 10 seconds. And it's a female voice. I'm assuming it's KK. Okay, so that's another piece of evidence. Moving on to yet another third piece of evidence that they're having this expert kind of talk about. What did Christina Karam say in this message? She says he's going to the Four Seasons and wants you to bring up Gatorade and chicken noodle soup. Okay. Read these. So it's text messages, I guess, between Dave Shirley, Rock, Christina Karam. Again, y'all, we're going to need to see the transcript or at least another, like some more context. I know that Inner City Press is like flying as fast as he can, like typing as fast as he can. So if it's confusing to you, don't worry. It's a little bit confusing to me too, but we'll get through the drama together. Anyway, so this is about going to the Four Seasons to bring chicken noodle soup. The assistant U.S. attorney says, read these. So now they're reading something else. And the assistant U.S. attorney says, I'll be Dave Shirley. Who is Dave Shirley? No idea. But Dave Shirley says, is Rock riding with him? Yes. No, excuse me. No. So Dave Shirley, is Rock riding with him? Is D-Rock, that's the security guy. Is he riding with him? No. Says KK. KK said no. Okay, again, they're just kind of reading these into evidence. We will get more. I don't know why Inner City Press bothers engaging with these AstroTurf bots. Okay, let me see. Y'all, we had King Knights. Now we're getting Wild King Knights. Okay, girl. Okay, we got the Wild King Knights. Have entered the chats. Can you run 4,000? So this is KK. Texting Dave Shirley. Can you run $4,000 cash from D-Rock to the hotel?
That's drug money.
So KK is telling Dave Shirley, whoever that is,
not for DoorDash.
Go pick up $4,000 from D-Rock and run it to the hotel. $4,000. And then KK says, heads up, he's about to do a Wild King night tonight. Then Dave Shirley said, forgot to pick up the money. Just give it to Fahim just in case. So I think this is really just trying to show and establish that like KK was the one, saying run this money here, run this money there. And if somebody's about to do a Wild King night and you need to run $4,000 over there, what do you think is the money is for really?
A prostitute and some drugs.
We do get some more context, thank God, from CNN on these text messages. So maybe this will help fill in some of the blanks. Paralegal specialist reads texts between Diddy's staff members. Ananya Sankar, a paralegal specialist at the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, read out loud messages between Christina Karam, who was at the time Diddy's chief of staff, and one of Diddy's assistants, Ryan Lopez. Okay, so Ryan Lopez is one of the assistants. They were included in the chart. Now, Ms. Sankar is a summary witness, which these are usually used to submit summary charts into evidence. The messages that she's reading from the chart were from December 29th, 2019. Now, this is interesting because D-Rock said he stopped working for Diddy in 2017, but here's D-Rock being told to go and run money this way and that way for Diddy, pick it up from 4,000 pickup from this 2018. Guy, that guy. Oh, look at this. Ooh. Oh my gosh. So so we get the quote of the escort thing. And all of these that we've heard so far are communications from Christina Karam. So they're communications with between her and other people. So the first one is this one right here. Quote, someone sends her, this is Ryan Lopez, yet another assistant of Diddy's. This is December 2019. It's almost New Year's Eve. And the assistant texts the chief of staff, KK, and says, quote, LOL, I think I saw one of the cowboys today. You can spot them in a lobby like an escort. I forgot to tell you about that. Karam texted back 4 laugh face emojis. By the way, how long is he going to stay awake? LOL. The assistant responded, I'm guessing till tomorrow night.
Oh, Jesus.
2 women who
That's
had
forced
dated
labor.
Diddy and testified against him in the trial, Cassie and Jane, previously testified that KK and Diddy used to have a service. Oh, sorry, Jane, both of them. Cassie and Jane previously testified that they used a service called Cowboys and Angels to find escorts for free calls. So look, I spotted one of, I LOL, think I saw one of the cowboys today. You could spot him in a lobby like an escort. I forgot to tell.
Hold on a second. I don't know what I just did. Bear with me 1 second. Please forgive me. I just did something goofy. Give me a second. Let me bring her back. Sorry about that.
Free call. Hold on, someone's like making a noise. I can't stand something making a freaking noise. Okay. Jonathan Perez was a personal assistant to
My daughter must
Diddy.
be at her house.
Why are we talking? Is it Ryan Lopez or Jonathan Perez? Because they're using different names. Look, Lopez responded. Then they're saying Jonathan Perez. Like Lopez, y'all know Lopez and Perez is 2 different names. Y'all know that? And Jonathan and Ryan is 2 different names. This is strange to me. Anyway, in any event, Jonathan Perez did testify. A personal assistant to Diddy from December 2021 to September 2024 testified Friday about staff members setting up King Nights, which he described as Diddy going to a hotel to have a private time with a female. Okay, let's go to Inner City Press. We still do need to catch up on all of the Washington Post stuff because they like to put details in, but we do have another tweet, so let's stay on top of it with Inner City Press. The most recent thing was this: Dave Shirley said to Christina Karam he forgot to pick up the money, so just give it to Fahim. What? Paul is okay. Paul, okay, got it. What does the hotel write to Miss Karam? What does the hotel write to Miss Karam? Remember, y'all, we're going through Christina Karam text messages, and I think it is now finally time to start doing the web. So the reason I have refrained from doing the web is I don't want to take time away. Like, I know y'all want to just get to like what's being actually said and all that, but I think it's now time to start like having a web that I can refer to. So be aware, today I am going to endeavor to start a little web so that we can at least click back to it and kind of look like who is who, what's going on, and all of that.
Just go to the Diddy docket.
What does the hotel write to Miss Karam? Hotel called Paul is coming up. Now, who is Paul? Paul is the guy, Paul Arthur. He's the one who Jane would prefer to have a freak off with if she had to have a freak off. And he's also, and I don't feel like I've seen enough like attention being paid to this. But he was also a personal trainer, so like an employee. Okay, people are saying yes to the web. Okay, I mean, I just have felt like I didn't want to like, because it's like, you know, pulling one screen down, pulling one up, I have to like, you know, do some editing to the pictures, and like it's just kind of like time consuming, but I think it will help. Okay, so we had Jane Doe. She's the one having freak off. She's the one that dated Diddy from 2021 to 2024 whenever he was arrested. She was getting the $10,000 rent payment. Now, people are saying that Diddy was giving her $10,000 a month, which isn't exactly true.
The money was going straight to the landlord.
He was having her rent paid, which did cost $10,000 a month, but it wasn't like she just had $10,000 a month and she decided like,
Robin paid the rent.
Each month spend it this way or that way. It was like, no, it was just going to the house that she was living in, and I really want to know who owns that house. Anyway, okay.
Robin was paying the rent.
The hotel right to
Diddy's money.
Christina.
Robin Greenhill, the accountant.
What is the hotel right to? Hold on a second.
She works for TriStar Entertainment, and her boss, so to speak, is Lou, not Hayes. What's her last name, BJ? Say it.
Okay. Hotel called. Paul is coming up. Who's Paul? Diddy's personal trainer and also freak off participant. Now, he's also the one we found out recently from Jane, or from her testimony. He was texting with Diddy.
I cannot.
Diddy was like, oh, Jane told me no tonight. You got to text her. You text her and we'll be in. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. Next question. Does Paul appear anywhere else in this chart? She said, yes, he does. Let's turn off the exhibit screens to the public and the press. Just let me know when they're off.
You know, that trial we're paying for that we can't see.
Appear. Please read these texts between Jane, this is Jane Doe, and Miss Karam, that's KK. Okay, so this is KK. Ask them if they can bring up 15 bath towels.
Damn. So nasty.
Jane says, he always brings between 5 and 10,000. They are expecting people to leave the presidential suite at 1 p.m. And then KK said, we're taking off. So this is some type of like hotel coordination. Like, you need
I gotta go get my glasses, y'all. I'll be right back.
The other. Let's start doing this. Because I want to start doing, the I want to start making the web. So I'm getting their pictures. And do y'all remember too the NBA stars, like the trifecta, where Diddy was Michael Jordan, and Jane said that she was sorry, I can only do one thing at one time. Diddy was Michael Jordan, and then Jane said she was Kobe, and then this other one, Paul, he was Shaquille O'Neal, and then they would like, it kind of looks like maybe they were actually literally role playing as these people. I thought they were just nicknames, but the Daily Mail is saying that it was like actually like this bizarre role play. I'm just setting up my web here a little bit. I already do have a Diddy web, so let me pull that up. Hopefully this time use will be this will be a good use of time, because it is a little bit time consuming. Hold on. All right. Let's catch up here, and then we'll go back to the web. We have a new update from CNN 2 minutes ago. Jury sees texts showing Diddy's staff planned hotel nights with Cassie. So this is a Cassie one. This is 2016. The jury was shown text messages between Diddy's assistants and Christina Karam, his former chief of staff, about planning for hotel nights for Diddy and Cassie in March 2016. Okay, so this is the exact same time frame as the Intercontinental Hotel situation. In one message, they discuss adding the name of an escort to the hotel room file. This is giving White Lotus. Karam and the other assistants then discuss getting $4,000 to the hotel in cash. In another exchange, Christina Karam tells an assistant, "Heads up, he's probably about to do Wild King tonight."
That's nasty.
The assistant, Dave Shirley, who has not testified at this trial, he wrote in response, "Bleep, need to re-up on baby oil and bleep." Baby
nasty.
Oil. So if you're doing King night, then you need a baby oil and bleep. In yet another message, Christina Karam texted Cassie directly. "Hi, Dave is at your door with the green." I guess that's money.
No, weed.
$4,000.
Stupid.
We have two new updates from NBC. Witness goes over evidence files from Diddy's chief of staff. The prosecution is having Sankar review the evidence she reviewed, which was extracted from the phone of Christina Karam, who served as Diddy's chief of staff. Some of the messages include apparent discussions about an escort, and others include Christina Karam instructing an assistant to set up Diddy's hotel room before he arrived. Prosecutors also looked at messages where assistants were told to give Diddy large quantities of cash.
That's
The line of
crazy.
questioning
Thank you,
appears to be the
Lisa.
government's way of bolstering
Thank you very
its
much.
allegation that Diddy used his employees to assist in his criminal enterprise. 3 minutes ago, NBCnews.com, Diddy needed soup and cash in the hotel room. According to a text message from his chief of staff, Christina Karam,
Freaky nigga.
to other assistants, and this is March 2016, Diddy had some very specific needs for a
Chicken noodle
four-seasons
soup.
hotel room. So this is not the Intercontinental. This is somewhere else. It's a different hotel. Different freak off. Christina Karam told staffers to ensure the room was stocked with Gatorade, water, and chicken noodle soup. No soda on the side, it appears.
No applesauce either.
Let it rain. I get it. In another text, Christina Karam asked workers to fetch $4,000 in cash and ensure that a male escort had access to the hotel rooms. Put his name on it.
What if
His name on the listing.
What if that's what that song was about?
Okay, let's.
Chicken noodle soup and a soda on the side. Ooh. Ooh.
So now we're seeing texts from Diddy. So they're going all over, and this is why we need a timeline roundup, because now they were just now in 2016. Now we're all the way in 2021. It's just a bunch of stuff getting read in. It's different types of text messages, group chats, exchanges of messages between people. Now we're looking at one between Christina Karam and Diddy
I don't like
from
this
November 2021. Diddy asked Christina Karam if the room was ready, and she said she didn't want the hotel to know it was him to avoid any, quote, unneeded charges. Christina Karam responded that Diddy should wait to go into the room until after Jane and Joey got there. So Joey was going to be there, and then so was Jane, and they were saying, Diddy, you need to wait. Diddy's former assistant, Jonathan Perez, previously testified that another one of Diddy's assistants' names was Joey. So there's a bunch of assistants, y'all. And I'm sure
could you imagine
assistants, because otherwise,
I'm not asking you to, but could you imagine if your job was to prepare spaces for your boss to be a cuckold and beat his girlfriend? Like, where do you put that on your resume as a duty?
After Diddy was in the room, then Christina Karam texted him, hotel called, Paul coming up. Now, Jane previously testified that she and Diddy would often have hotel nights with a man named Paul, and he was not only an escort, but he was also a personal trainer for Diddy. Let's go to the Washington Post. I want to get caught up with what they're doing over there.
I just had this onigiri, this tuna and mayo onigiri. I'm not a fan of it. Not right now.
An hour ago, Diddy spent Sunday in the MDC. His two sons posted social media messages wishing him a happy Father's Day. I wonder if that was orchestrated by
I didn't even know Sunday was Father's Day.
Both sons have been regular attendees at their dad's trial, where he has pleaded not guilty to charges of ST, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation.
More importantly, I'm about to have this butter garlic popcorn that is made in Korea. I believe it's made in Korea. I think it's made in Korea. It's addicting, but it's slightly sweet. I told you everything here got a little sugar on it. Slightly sweet. I don't know why, but it's good as fuck. Come on, baby. Come on back. There we go.
He said prosecutors could finish as early as, that was Brendan Paul, a former assistant. He may take the stand today.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Let's see. Juror number 6 dismissed. The credibility was called into question. Inconsistencies in his statements. 41-year-old works at correctional facility. Told the courts during jury selection he lived in the Bronx with his fiance and daughter. But after an offhand comment made to a jury service staffer and further questioning by the judge, it was revealed that his girlfriend and daughter live in New Jersey. He sometimes lived with his aunt in the Bronx.
And they
He also gave different answers as to which home was his primary residence.
He's a homosexual.
The judge was going to get rid of this guy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But the defense pushed back against the dismissal of a black juror. The record raised serious concerns as to the juror's candor, said the judge, adding that it was concerning that juror 6 appeared to be shading his answers to try and remain on the jury, a big red flag for the court.
Yep.
The judge also quoted the defense's own words, back to it. And this is funny because
they said some dumbass shit.
The motion that they made this weekend, Diddy's team and them, it was repeating a lot of the judge's words back to him. It was quoting him.
Brian Steele with his dumb ass said, Judge, everybody's known this dude lived in New Jersey even during the vetting process. So why are we just now caring? And the judge was like, so you've known this juror was living in New Jersey this whole time and you never said anything? Dumbass Brian Steele.
Helped walk the jury through a chart of evidence the government has compiled. 29 minutes ago, a chart being presented to the jury focuses on documents involving Christina Karam. Documents and communications. These include text and audio messages retrieved from various cell phones as well as audio files. She's a vital part of the government's racketeering case against Diddy. This is Karam, KK.
So is Robin
one of the people the prosecutor thinks as a participant in the Combs enterprise, which they contend conspired to protect Diddy's reputation and cover up his alleged crimes.
I can't wait for Robin to come up in this shit.
1 minute ago, Ann Brannigan, Washington Post. The government has been picking its way through a 33-page chart showing conversations with Christina Karam, the chief of staff for Diddy, and conversations she had with multiple individuals all the way since 2016. In correspondence with Diddy, his assistants, his girlfriends, Cassie and Jane, KK appeared to be setting up hotels for her boss's freak-offs, as well as coordinating the delivery of thousands of dollars in cash. One set of messages from 2019 seemed to refer to the Cowboys and Angels, a service Diddy and his partners, his girlfriends, used to recruit men to participate in the freak-offs.
They about to make them niggas open up their books.
Per testimony from Ventura and Jane, who's using court-approved daylist. By the way, how long is he going to stay awake? KK asked in one message to Diddy's assistant. Diddy's ex-girlfriends have said that the freak-offs typically lasted 24 to 48 hours.
That's crazy.
One new update.
That's like working in a whorehouse.
From NBCnews.com 2 minutes ago. Escorts were common in the Combs world, text messages show.
Not just Combs, all them niggas use them.
Employment of male escorts for marathon sex sessions became a bit of a running joke among his employees. According to testimony earlier in the trial, Diddy and his former girlfriend Cassie frequently hired the service Cowboys for Angels. Diddy's assistant Ryan Lopez texted Christina Karam December 2019, LOL, I think I saw one of the Cowboys today. You can spot him in a lobby like an escort. I forgot to tell you about it. KK texted back 4 laughing emojis. By the way, how long is he going to stay awake? LOL, I'm guessing until tomorrow night. They laughed.
On phones their boss paid for.
2 minutes ago, jury sees texts showing Diddy's staff discussed high hotel damage charges. The jury was shown messages that KK sent to Jane and Diddy Valentine's Day weekend 2022 about a hotel room. One of KK's messages said in part, here's a quote, "Your damage charges on the one hotel are always high." KK later sent a message to Jane, who dated Diddy from 2021 to 2024, telling her, quote, "Ask if they can bring up like 15 bath towels." Jane texted KK saying Diddy always brought cash and asked if his security could bring around $5,000 to $10,000. KK later texted Diddy saying, Jane asked if you could bring 5 to 10K cash. It's all in your safe. Okay, so now we're bringing in the safe. Let's go back to Inner City Press.
So that's what that $9,000 in that fanny pack was for. But what about the drugs? What about the drugs?
Okay. So they're just reading in different messages. So the assistant U.S. attorney goes, okay, going ahead in time. Okay, who is this between? Okay, so objection to going ahead in time. All right, so rephrase the question. I withdraw the question. Okay. Who are these messages between? And the expert said Diddy and KK. They say Guido hasn't dropped off the package yet. Now, who's Guido? We heard yesterday Guido is the substance dealer. He the plug.
One of them.
Okay,
so Guido is one stop.
What does KK write to Diddy here? She writes Guido outside. And Diddy replies with an audio message. Play the audio message, please. Okay. Diddy sounds hoarse. And he says, Guido, take care of it, please. And what does KK respond? KK responds, done. Do some of these messages involve Cassie Ventura? Yes. Hold on.
I hope you eating your popcorn too, because this ain't none of my business. This is all entertainment. I live real clean and real boring.
Do some of these messages involve Cassie Ventura? Yes, they do. Okay, let's go to page 5, May 2nd, 2017. What are these? These are text messages between Cassie and KK. Okay, what do they say? Well, Cassie says,
what the fuck?
WTF. And KK says, are you okay? And Cassie says,
oh my God.
No one deserves to be dragged by their hair. This is Cassie texting the chief of staff. This is trying to, I think, prove this was common knowledge among Diddy's staff that everyone knew he was violent. I think that's what they're trying to show. Okay, so now they're moving forward. Now, this is just a series of texts, a bunch of text messages from different times, but they all relate to KK. That's the one thing they all have in common, is they're all from KK communications. Cassie and KK, more text message conversation from 2018, the next year. So Cassie says, I just can't anymore. KK said, I'm here for you. Heart
no,
emoji.
you ain't. No, you ain't.
Cassie says, I'm bummed, but don't want to derail. So 2018, this is the year she finally did break up with Diddy. KK said, yeah, definitely. Don't derail. It's not worth it. So saying, like, don't bother Diddy with your little personal issues. He has other things to deal with. Don't derail.
Don't jump shit.
Again, I really think this is wrapping KK so much more up with the scheme because it's showing, like, she does know there's hitting. She knows there's escorts. She knows there's substances. She's dropping off money.
Yep. She orchestrating shit. She is the Ghislaine Maxwell of it all.
We have another new text message from, we have another new update from NBCnews.com. Texts show Diddy asking staff to obtain 15 pills of Molly Ann for him. Diddy asked his employees to pick up illegal substances for him in 2022, according to text messages entered into evidence. Prosecutors reviewed the messages between Diddy and Christina Karam and the head of Diddy's security, which is Fahim Muhammad. Now, if you did not know this Fahim Muhammad was on the scene when Michael Jackson lost his life. Now, that death was eventually ruled a homicide. So, not by Fahim, but, just in general, kind of strange. But now he's Diddy's chief of staff. So this is messages
Thank you, Lisa.
KK and Fahim.
Lisa said hit that like button, y'all. Come on out the bushes.
2022. In the messages, Christina Karam asks Diddy what Fahim needs to pick up before they fly to Miami. And he texts 15 pills of Molly Ann. Okay. Then he instructs KK not to text him about it. But he's texting about it. Stupid.
Let me tell you how common Molly is in California. So if you go into a smoke shop in California, there will be, especially the closer you get to LA, there will be all these different flavors of flavored water. And you be like, I asked one day with my green ass, how come y'all got all this flavored water? I mean, it's a smoke shop. I said, this one dude came in and bought a whole bunch of them. And the dude that worked there told me people buy it and put their Molly in it. And I guess that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to drop the Molly in the water and then drink the water. Damn.
Diddy messages with assistants, messages with Cassie. Messages, with assistants. So now they're going to turn to Jane Doe's text messages. You read as Jane. Okay. Jane says, we got into a fight. I'm not doing hotel night. I'll bring him a cake. What's the date of this? Filing?
His birthday.
November 16th. Okay. So this is Cassie's lawsuit. All right.
Oh. She brought him a cake.
They're just flying through, y'all. They're just going through a bunch of different stuff. So what's this? This is Cassie's lawsuit. What's the date of the filing? November 16th, 2023. Cool, great.
So he wants to do a hotel night the night he got sued?
From 3 days after Cassie's lawsuit.
He's not very smart.
November 19th, 2023. What are they about? Setting up a flight for Jane. Okay. What is this? It's flight information for Paul, the assistant / freak off guy.
Who is Jessica Reese?
The one who texted Jane saying, let's hook up, let's meet up or whatever, whenever Diddy was like, oh, you're going to have to text her. This is him. Flight information from Jessica Ruiz to KK. Okay. Who's the flight information for? It's for Paul, the freak off guy. Okay. What's the next message? Can you pick up the cash for Guido at Mapleton? So pick up the cash for the plug at the LA address. And then Jane says, yes, I can pick up the cash. So these are just more text messages showing money is being exchanged for substances.
So she was being used as a runner.
Okay. What are these? These are audio files from 2 days after the Cassie lawsuit.
Somebody's wondering who Sankari is.
What does the audio?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Play it. Play the audio for the jury and the gallery to hear.
I'll tell you in a minute.
It's Diddy's voice, 2023. We can't really talk on this phone. You know what I'm saying? I called. I reached out. You know what I'm saying? My love is definitely true. Just some kinky stuff I thought we definitely enjoyed.
Those some R&B lyrics.
Right. So this is the cleanup. This is like 2 days. 2 days.
Some more R&B lyrics.
After 3 days, excuse me. 3 days after Cassie's lawsuit hits, he's on the voice notes to Jane talking about, I thought we both liked it, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? But I can't talk on this phone and all that. So, okay.
So Sankar, who is the person you see and help read these text messages, based on my information and belief, is a RICO expert. So this person is, I don't know why, I haven't seen any expert testimony come from them yet, but apparently they're supposed to, weigh in on whether or not what's happening, what we're seeing with all this evidence is, I'm drinking Pellegrino, amounts to a RICO. That's what I think.
And 15 pills. But he responded that he already told her, and KK said he didn't give the final information. He said Molly and 15 pills. The jury saw a message that Fahim Muhammad sent to Diddy, KK, and Diddy's account manager. They not saying Robin Greenhill.
Right.
They not saying Robin Greenhill, but I'll say it.
It's Robin Greenhill.
Friday, that the account manager is Robin Greenhill.
It is.
Okay, so let me make sure that
she handled that shit directly.
CNN isn't running cover for TriStar Sports and Entertainment. 8,400 people in this chat. I'm gonna let y'all know this account manager. Her name's Robin Denise Greenhill. For TriStar Sports and Entertainment. CNN might not tell you, but I will.
Exactly.
Diddy responded he already told KK. He's like, I already told you this. And she's like, no, you didn't. You didn't give me the final info. Molly, 15 pills. Don't text me about it no more. The jury then saw a message that Fahim Muhammad sent to Diddy, KK, and Robin Greenhill in 2023. Quote, just gave $5K to Brendan for hotel, Fahim said.
Jonathan Adi said Diddy was handling business during these freak-offs.
Why we running cover for Robin Greenhill? I
don't understand that.
I wanna know.
Because she friends with Rupert Murdoch, that's why. There go your answer.
Okay. So this is where we left off on Inner City Press. It was Diddy doing a voice note. I really can't talk on this phone, you know what I'm saying? I called, I reached out, you know what I'm saying? My love is definitely true. Just some kinky I thought we were definitely both enjoying. And then Jane says, I don't know. Her voice cracks. It's like word for word, it's like crazy to me. It feels sick.
Jane didn't talk like that, honey.
But like, you know. Okay, they turn it off. Next. Can you play the next one? Yep, it's Diddy. I really need your friendship right now. Don't send no text. I really need your friendship right now. Don't send no text. 1 minute ago, NBC News. No one deserves to be dragged by their hair. Cassie told Diddy's top aide in a text. In a May 2nd, 2017 text from Cassie to KK, Cassie said, quote, no one deserves to be dragged by their hair following an alleged attack by Diddy. A concerned KK asked Cassie if she was okay. Cassie responded she didn't know why Diddy was acting out, but that she needed to stay focused on her career.
Why is my microphone being used by Google Maps right now?
Just now, Anne Brannigan.
I don't even use
in
Google
2017,
Maps.
Cassie sent a message to Diddy's chief of staff.
We don't use Google Maps in Korea.
Suggesting Diddy had just dragged her by the hair and that she didn't feel safe. WTF. Cassie said to KK. KK asked if Cassie was okay. Cassie said no, but you should talk to him. I'm sure you don't want to get involved, but no one deserves being dragged by their hair. She sent in a follow-up text. I don't have my stuff. I don't even have money. I'm effed, Cassie messaged KK. I'll try to talk to him when he's up, said KK. Okay, we get more recorded audio. I just needed to tell you I need your friendship. Baby, I got to meet my moms. You know what I'm saying? Please pray for me.
What?
Jane said, okay, and they turned off the audio. 3 days later, what are these? Oh, it's KK. KK writes, we all know your kryptonite. Ooh, what's the kryptonite, girl? Okay, let me, put some of the stuff on this web and get that going.
I've been waiting for KK's name to come up in this shit. Because they took her phone while they were raiding the Miami house. They went to the airport and took her phone.
This is Paul Arthur Jr.
I thought his name was Arthur Paul Jr.
Also personal trainer. Also texted Jane, persuading her. Also,
how you train a man and get paid to fuck his girlfriend? That's weird.
Shaq in the trifecta.
Shaq. Who is Shaq? P. Diddy? So they had this trifecta, so to speak. They make some sense out of that for those who don't know. Jane Doe testified last week that her, Diddy, and Paul would call themselves the trifecta. One of them was Kobe, the other one was Shaq, and the other one was Michael Jordan. P. Diddy was Michael Jordan, I think. Jane Doe was Kobe, and I think Big Black Dick was called Shaq. BBC was called Shaq. That's crazy, and it's corny. Corny as fuck. I find out more and more this P. Diddy is a corny nigga. Corny as hell. I'm trying to get it back up. Hold on. There we go.
November 28th, 2023. It's a photo of a cell phone screen. It says, I lost work opportunities. Two minutes ago, CNN is now updating about the hair dragging incident. Cassie to KK.
That's
no one
crazy.
deserves being dragged by their hair. The jury saw messages between Diddy, Chief of Staff, and Christina Karam. Messages between KK, Christina Karam, and Cassie from May 2017. This is the year, about 1 year after the Intercontinental Hotel incident. Cassie texted KK, WTF. And then KK asked if she was okay. And Cassie said, no, but you should talk to him. No one deserves being dragged by their hair. I locked my door for safety. She added she didn't have her belongings or any money. KK responded she would try to talk to Diddy and help Cassie get her stuff.
But Jane Doe said she didn't think KK liked her. Probably because she was black.
Okay,
KK don't give me that she likes black
we're still
women.
looking at a photo of. So there's an image. It's a picture in evidence. It's a picture of a cell phone screen. So someone took a picture of a phone, and it says, "I lost work opportunities. You broke me. You asked me what I needed to move on, and now you're upset." Who are these text messages between now? Okay, these next ones, these are between Jane and Christina Karam. So Jane tells KK. So Jane, one of the alleged victims in this case, she testified for like 6 days. We heard about this before, but now we're just seeing it come up again in this chart. He said he would send the tapes to my baby's dad. I'm traumatized. He asked me who I'm seeing over and over again. Over and over again. Diddy's like, who are you seeing, Jane? Who are you seeing? Who are you seeing?
Now that's how you get full custody.
I'm going to send these tapes to your baby's father.
He'll win any custody suit like that and end up, she'll have to pay him child support. I wonder if her daughter, her, it's already been mentioned, so I'm going to say it. I wonder if her son's father is another entertainer.
Okay, and remember the foundation of this case. This is the Independent, but remember, Diddy was arrested as federal authorities alleged he threatened, abused, and coerced victims to, quote, fulfill his sexual desires. Okay, between 2004 and 2024, over a 20-year period. He's denied all allegations of wrongdoing. The rug mule is set to testify today, and the judge is supposed to rule on dismissing another juror.
Kanye's supposed to bring the drug mule to court today. I guess they're sharing a taxi.
Summary witness. The judge is expected to make a final determination on juror 6. No, he already did that. Waiting on the sidelines. So I guess they're not really like up to date. Juror number 6 replaced. Okay, yeah, no, they got. Okay, hold on.
Where'd he get that damn gray hair from?
His sons. 2 of them, Christian and Justin, who have both been present. Happy Father's Day, Pops. Thanks for giving me the light. Give me life and always being president. Supposed to be president.
So they didn't name Christian with the middle name Yor. They named
I'm with
Justin.
you forever, no matter what. Miss you, love you. Justin Combs wrote in an Instagram story. Meanwhile, Christian just shared a throwback image of him and Diddy writing, Happy Father's Day, Pops. I love you and miss you. We waiting for you at home. Yeah, well, y'all going to be waiting for a while.
But they said, I remember.
Minutes ago, paralegal specialist called to the stand.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Ananya Sankar.
Oh, he's a paralegal specialist
for the Southern District of New York. Will walk jurors through a chart of evidence the government has collected. The juror.
Apparently, when Mia was on the stand, it was said that Diddy was orchestrating a campaign to make sure there were a lot of Father's Day and birthday greetings on social media to him to sway public opinion.
So he's going to come back. Kanye West is apparently going to be coming back to court. If that's what this means. Look, like Friday's session saw fellow hip-hop star Kanye West make a surprise appearance at the courthouse in a show of support for the defendant, and he's been tipped to return in week 6.
Now, how would anybody know that unless he's been called back
next week?
I'm telling you, he's running distraction. His job is to distract us from the, I think her name is Lou Taylor, and the Robin Greenhill, and waiting for Kim Kardashian, not Kim, her mama, Kris Jenner's name to come up, and all the other real people that are involved. I do believe that Kanye West, now I did see something that I haven't looked into on DiddyDocket.com that said proof Kanye West was the mysterious rapper.
Was a series of communications between KK and Jane. Okay, so Jane, again, another alleged victim. We don't, know her name, although, there's a lot of speculation. Please don't do that in my chat. It's not allowed. But Jane was saying to KK, and remember, Jane and KK don't get along. They did not get along. They did not like each other. So KK and Jane are texting each other.
Jane
and
ain't got no
is like,
issue with
he said
KK.
he was going to send tapes to my baby daddy. I'm traumatized. He asked me who I'm seeing over and over again. He said he's going to send those tapes to the father of my child. I am on them drugged. I am beyond hurt by him.
Wow.
What does KK say?
She'd lose her son.
She just says, I haven't spoken with him.
See,
okay, what about these photos of a cell phone? Can you read them? Yeah. This is Jane. She said, you have effed everything up. You win. What are these? these are videos, so they're moving on. So they were going back and forth.
I had been sleep with herself
What are
at
these?
night.
These
They're
are
one of
videos
these
found
hoes.
on KK's device. Okay, play it. It's a woman's voice saying, like $1,000. What's in this photo? It's like a long manicured nail.
What? That seemed weird. I don't think Jane had an issue with KK. I think KK don't like black women. So I think she was apathetic toward Jane. That's my opinion.
We also have ABC giving live updates today, which is new. Well, not like completely, but they don't always have live updates.
Excuse me.
Prosecution could rest their case this week.
What?
Judge upholds decision to dismiss the juror. Oh, we got some quotes here. This is nice. Okay, so we got some quotes about what the judge said about the juror. Quote, the record raised serious concerns as to the juror's candor, like basically it's like honesty, and whether he's shaded answers to get on and stay on the jury, the judge said. The quote goes on. There's nothing the juror can say at this point to put the genie back in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
The judge said he took seriously the defense's concern about race, but he said the jury does not raise those concerns. This jury does not raise those concerns. He also said it is inappropriate to consider race in deciding whether the juror's responses to questions about where he lived were accurate.
And just to share with you,
at the conclusion report on
it seems as though the judge may be like 4th or 5th caste Indian, which doesn't mean he can't be racist. Okay. Okay, because Gandhi couldn't stand Negroes.
Organize the hundreds of exhibits they've seen so far. We've been told it's possible that Yay will make another appearance early this week, just as he did on Friday.
How would anybody know that?
The last substantive witness for the prosecution is expected to be a former assistant to Diddy, Brendan Paul. Prosecutors have said they expect to rest their case as soon as Wednesday, but no later than Friday. There are no court proceedings on Thursday because it is Juneteenth.
Hold on. No court on Thursday. That means I can get some sleep. And then the next day they're starting at 1 p.m. or something like that instead of early. That sound you hear in the background is my menopause fan.
Working on my little web over here. Yeah, okay. So then let's get up Cassie. We need Jane. I'm gonna put them on the top here.
When they do take a break in a minute, I'm not going to disconnect the live. I'm just going to step away and take a break, let the music play for a little bit, and just refresh my brain, because that whole Anne Hesh thing took me, and then literally finding out Naomi Judd died, I want to cry. I'm not even going to lie. That I had to get it together real quick. That was quite a shock to me. She probably would be about 70-something years old now. And I just need to turn around in my chair a little bit.
Innovation Center. I'm only popping in here quickly. Check DMs later regarding an issue we both know needs to be addressed. Working on something. Oh, girl, I don't know what in the hell you talking about. Thank you for the $9.99. Looking forward to seeing what you talking about. Thank you, Sheena, becoming a member. I thought you were already a member. Shout out to you. Thank you, DJ Spin, for the $49.99. BJ, you're doing an excellent job covering this case. Your outlook and your voice are amazing. Sounding so good. God bless. And keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you so much for that very generous super chat. Shout out to you for that $49.99. Thank you so much. Let's see what's going on the little I'll show y'all what I got so far. I just started doing this morning on live while I was doing it. This is the reason why I haven't done it yet. So I got KK and put her at the top. This is the Diddy web, so there's already like, you know, a lot going on here. But
gosh.
I'm just going to start the witnesses up here, or like the relevant ones anyway for now. This is Paul, CSA. Paul, freak off worker, P. Diddy personal trainer, texted Jane persuading her. He's also Shaq in the trifecta. And of course we got Cassie. I just
probably
put her picture on
bisexual.
there. Christina Karam, KK, former chief of staff, possible co-defendant question mark. I don't know if she is or not. I need to put Robin
she
up
might
on
have her
there.
own trial. They're probably waiting until the Diddy trial ends, and then they'll bring everybody else to
Lou Taylor
the carpet.
Stonebridge investment. We got the Stonebridge investment here.
Look at the devil
high
horns.
school. The Davamos family. That's like the people who she was working.
Lou Taylor. Is that what she said her name was?
Apparently. Then there's the possible connections to private prisons.
I'll have to bring you guys some more information about her.
Secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation. There's Diddy, there's Kim Kardashian, there's Joe Francis, Big Joe Sherman, Mark Lata, because remember her right there, Tanea, we keep seeing her come up over and over and over again. She claims she went to a Diddy freak off and a Prince of Brunei wanted to take her back somewhere or something. I don't know.
Her story didn't make no sense to me though.
I don't know. We got Drewski.
Sound like a
anyway,
lie.
so we're up here for now. What is this? Lumen. Oh yeah, this whole thing. Oh god, yeah. One day I'm gonna make a video about this. But the Lumen logo looks like exactly like this Wackenhut. The Wackenhut Corporation is a security services company founded in Florida, which that was where Lou Taylor first started working, Boca Raton. 3 partners, all of which were former FBI agents. The company was largely associated with the U.S. government and military and had alleged ties to the CIA. And then it's one of the companies that made the most profits off of the 1994 crime bill. This information all came from Whitney Webb. I keep telling y'all you need to go read that One Label Under Blackmail. It's free. But like here's this like company that made all this money off private prisons, the crime bill, and then that goes straight to Core Civic. This is Brentwood, Tennessee. Anyway, so all that to say, we're up here. I'm gonna make this into saying Cassie.
I feel like I need to bring you guys some information about Lou Taylor and Robin Greenhill so you can understand why we keep mentioning her. So I will do that.
Cassie Ventura Fine. Let's see.
Did she change her last name?
Diddy GF from what, 2007 to 2018. Okay, so I'll put her more like up here because she came earlier in the chronology. I always have to end up like kind of moving these all around and stuff, like just to make sure that everything's the right size. All right, so that'll be that for right now. Let's go back to our updates. Jennifer Daigle, probably my cousin. I'm related to some Daigles, I think. Thanks so much for that $2 super chat. I can't stop thinking about Gatorade and Kim Porter. Me too. She did have the Gatorade there. And also, y'all, I want to make a whole video about this, but it did come out that Jonathan Perez, the one who testified most recently, the assistant, it was asked specifically, and I got this from the transcript because Rabbit read the transcript and I was listening to her, but specifically the prosecution asked, why did you set up these IVs? Why were you doing IVs? And, you know, why would you do that after freak-offs for the people that were in the freak-offs? Why would you do that? And he said specifically the IVs were to, quote, put them to sleep.
What?
Make them go to sleep. That is not what I thought those IVs were for.
I thought they were for
like, replenish, rehydration. Maybe you'll get a little NAD drip. Maybe you'll get a little some vitamins.
That's crazy.
But he said they were giving him IVs to put him to sleep, which brings me directly back to Michael Jackson. He died because somebody was giving him some sort of sedative intravenously.
Well, not only that, KK asked, how long do you think he'll be asleep? How long do you think he'll be awake? Wow.
Intramuscularly.
That's crazy.
4 more people to call after this lady. 3 of them are special summary witnesses, or what? 2 are summary witnesses. 1 is a special agent, and then 1 is an assistant. I think the government's not going to call them because they would plead the 5th. So the government doesn't want to give them immunity. I do wonder if Diddy's going to call him. I think for that $4.99.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's crazy. To put people to sleep, because I think a couple of them said they would sleep for like days after a freak off.
Somebody needs to investigate somebody, and somebody needs to go to jail. That's all I know.
Where's the DEA and the ATF? Because the FBI don't deal with drugs and guns.
Jedi mind trick. I want to know, was Fahim put there by TriStar 2? What is the relation, if any, with Corey Gamble? I don't know. Yeah, he did. He died from propofol intoxication, but this is something that is like isn't it like a benzo or like a barbiturate or whatever? It like slows your functions down.
That's crazy.
I've seen Mark Laita's girlfriend died, and he allegedly found her in a bathtub. Looks suspicious to me, but I'm looking forward to seeing the autopsy results. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, or the 5 CMF, Jenny.
I'm trying to get my lighting right, y'all.
It's an anesthesia, and you know what, they use a similar anesthesia like that, like a anesthesia type thing, for the zombification. For those y'all keeping up at home about the zombification updates.
What?
And this is done by like specifically Haitian voodoo practitioners. But what I think is very interesting is, like, remember Young Thug's co-defendant was sacrificing a goat to the Iwas. The Iwas are voodoo. Okay, that's like what it is. Iwa or Iwa. It just depends who's pronouncing. But
it means the dead.
He was sacrificing a goat to Iwa. This is Young Thug's like co-defendant. So this is like something that's absolutely going on in Hollywood somewhere, somehow.
Yeah, it goes on everywhere. I've had goats sacrificed for me. There's nothing wrong with it either.
The whole entire of Haiti, their religion, their national religion is voodoo,
and
it does appear similar to
there's nothing wrong with that.
Roman Catholicism and stuff like that. But like, they have like equated, and it's not their fault. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Like voodoo is just fine of a religion, but
it
like
sure is.
Practitioners within it that are doing things that are horrible, like making people think they died and came back to life and now they don't have a soul, and zombifying them. And
nah, because like, I met.
Burying them alive.
Let me tell my story.
And it's just all this crazy stuff.
I met a woman when I went down to the West African village in South Carolina. I met a woman who was dead, and she was gone. Like, she was alive, like she could talk to you, but when you touched her skin, like she was cold. She was ice cold, and she had gone through. She was in the process of a certain rite where she had gone through a spiritual process where she literally died. And she was walking around, and she had a little white grocery bag, and she was in the field. Where was I at? What was the name of that African village? I can't think of it now. It slipped my mind, but it was the Ifa village, and they still did everything I couldn't. They invited me to spend the night, and I just couldn't because the accommodations weren't luxurious enough for me. I could be an African spiritualist, but can we stay at the Ritz? You feel me? At least a Hilton hotel or a Marriott Bonvoy. Can we at least stay in a proper accommodation? Do I have to be poor to be African? Is that what you're telling me? But no, I met a woman like that, and she had this peace about her, this air of peace that was just so powerful. It never left me. I wonder if she ever came back to life. She was only supposed to be dead for 3 days, but it had been like 2 or 3 months at this point.
6 minutes ago, Diddy's chief of staff knew Diddy blackmailed or threatened to blackmail, according to text messages. Prosecutors showed messages Jane shared with Christina Karam in December 2023, stating that Diddy threatened. So Jane, right? Jane, this is just recently.
Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this too. And thank you to everybody who mentions me to your audience. I really am grateful.
This is the month after Cassie's lawsuit was filed. Said Diddy threatened to expose S tapes. This appears to show that Diddy's chief of staff was aware of the blackmail threats to this victim, alleged victim. In the message, Jane wrote that Diddy was threatening to show the tapes in which she was heavily drugged to the father of her baby. Jane wrote she was traumatized by her time with Diddy and was filled with emotion. KK told Jane she had not seen Diddy in 2 days, but would call her. An audio file of a conversation between Diddy and Jane after Cassie's lawsuit
Thank you, Lisa.
was revealed to the public. Was played as well, and Jane previously told the court that she was unaware that the conversation was recorded. She was distraught, telling Diddy that the lawsuit felt word for word like what her experience had been, and it made her sick to her stomach. She testified earlier in the trial that she felt Diddy exploited her for hotel nights, and she thought Diddy used paying her rent as a tool.
Duh, nigga. That's why you never let a nigga take care of you unless that's your husband.
We have 2 new updates from the Washington Post. 8 minutes ago, messages sent to Diddy's chief of staff suggest that she was aware that Jane, the ex-girlfriend, felt mistreated and sexually exploited and didn't want to participate in any more freak-offs or hotel nights. The ex, who testified last week under the pseudonym Jane, sent KK messages in early November 2023 saying that she wanted no more hotel nights. So it was KK. It was Jane saying to KK, I don't want any more hotel nights. I just can't. Then, okay, so that came before Cassie's lawsuit.
Young Miami said she loved golden showers.
Diddy himself appeared to forward screenshots of text messages he received from Jane by saying she felt extremely exploited, heartbroken, and manipulated by him. So Diddy took pictures of those and then forwarded them to somebody, himself or KK or someone. He also appeared to send KK audio files of phone calls that he recorded with Jane. So he recorded phone calls with Jane, and then Diddy, sent them to KK.
Damn.
Jane told Diddy that the lawsuit described, like, word for word, her own experience.
That's not how she talked, honey. You got to pick up on the things she's saying. You know how she talked. She probably talked more like Young Miami. Those are not Valley girls.
I also think it's telling that Diddy's like, I can't talk on this phone. I can't talk on this phone.
Because he know what's going on. He worked for the feds.
What's in this photo? A long manicured nail. So what I think they're trying to show is that it's Christina Karam holding Diddy's phone. This is Diddy's phone, okay? And let me find another phone.
Oh, it's Christina's nail.
Phone. This will be the other phone. Okay. So this is KK's phone right here. Okay?
Yeah,
it's like this is KK's phone. This is Diddy's phone. There's a text on Diddy's phone. Here's KK's phone. KK's holding the phone in her hand like this and takes a picture with her phone of Diddy's phone. Okay.
I wonder if he did freak offs with her too. Because she had white nails too. He's controlling enough to tell her what color nails to wear too. I wonder if she did freak offs with Diddy, because they were awful close.
So that's the long manicured nail. That's KK's nail, allegedly.
I don't take Diddy as the kind of man to have any kind of platonic relationship with a woman. Even if he's not attracted to her, he's gonna fuck her just for control. That's the kind of man I take him for.
Mode or Gucci bag mode. LOL. Okay, so the Gucci bag is obviously now established as the one that held the substances.
That was a Louis Vuitton bag.
Recovered a Gucci pouch.
That was the Gucci bag at the house.
I think Miami.
Yeah.
We also heard Jonathan Perez testify about the Gucci bag. You know, there's stuff in the Balenciaga bag that should only never leave the Gucci bag and all that. So KK said they just chilling at his house. Out to shop like King Night mode or Gucci bag mode? Well, King Night and Gucci bag mode seemed like the same.
Well, they started a break 20 minutes ago.
Said, okay, let's take a short break. It's 15 minutes ago, so they're probably about to be coming back any minute.
Yeah. I'm gonna let y'all catch up with her. I'm gonna go turn around in my chair for a second. I promise I'm not going to sleep. I'll be right back. I just need to take a quick break from it. I'll be right back.
1 minute ago, Jane was threatened about S tapes she wrote to Diddy staffer. the jury listened to 2 recordings, which the prosecution says were found on KK's devices. These are recordings of phone calls between Diddy and Jane, his girlfriend at the time, and this was just days after Cassie's lawsuit was filed in November 2023. The jury first heard the recorded calls during Jane's testimony. So these have already been introduced. The jury already knew about these. The messages came after Cassie's lawsuit, in which Cassie accused Diddy of R and physical abuse. In the calls, which Jane testified she didn't know were recorded, Jane and Diddy talked about the lawsuit. The jury also saw photos that the prosecution says were recovered from Christina Karam's device that showed messages on another phone. These messages were taken about a month and a week after the lawsuit. Cassie's lawsuit was originally filed. December 28th, 2023. I don't believe the lovey-dovey stuff. This is a quote. You don't need to go there for me. I was confused and couldn't concentrate for 3 years, and I feel extremely exploited, heartbroken, and manipulated by you. One of the messages said, in part, quote, "You're the only opportunist here. You exploited the F out of me. You win. 3 years of being used by you, and you had 3 years of fun with my body." Messages in the other photos said. Jane previously testified she sent those messages to Diddy. So why were they on KK's phone? A few hours after those photos were taken, Jane texted KK saying, "He just threatened me about my S tapes that he has of me on 2 phones. He said that he would expose me and send them to my child's father." Jury sees texts between Diddy's staff discussing King stuff. Okay. The jury saw text messages, this is CNN.com, between Christina Karam and Diddy. Wait, hold on. Between Christina Karam and Brendan Paul. This is the alleged so-called rug mule. In the messages, Brendan keeps KK informed as he escorts Diddy to Jane's house. So Brendan Paul is driving Diddy to Jane's house, and he's updating KK all the whole way. KK warned this assistant, Brendan Paul, Diddy might need King stuff, potentially. While Diddy is with Jane, okay, so Diddy ends up getting dropped off to be with Jane, and then the assistant, Brendan Paul, texts Christina Karam and says, "Diddy's just going with the flow." KK says, "LOL, okay." So basically he's lit. And he's like, "No, he isn't lit. And then later he texts her back again. This is the assistant, Brendan Paul, the rug mule, the one that was arrested. He played like soccer or football or something for Syracuse and all that. He was arrested like same time as Diddy, trying to get on a plane, but then he got maybe acquitted or pled down or diversion program or something. So that's him, but he was Diddy's assistant at the time. He says, "PD active now." I don't know what that means. "Running to Walmart now." And then KK said, "Wild King mode active or Gucci bag active?" He said in between the two, if that makes sense. Reminder, a Combs assistant previously described King nights as going to a hotel to have a private time with a female. 15 minutes ago, they had a break. I need to get a picture of Brendan Paul and put him in here. On my web. Okay, let's do clusters. I'll do assistants. Let's do these up here. I'll do clusters of people. I want the girlfriends over here. And I want the assistants over here. This one was around the same time as Jane. Okay, I'll show y'all what I'm doing. So I'm making this web to make it easier to explain like what's going on. So this is KK and she's texting this guy right here, Brendan. I'm putting Cassie over here. And I need to put a Jane. Let's see if I can put a sticker on here. Yeah, let's just go Jane. We'll call this Jane. Okay, she dated Diddy GF from 2021 to 2024. Okay, now I want to make our little, I want to put a line here between Jane and Paul, because they were part of the trifecta. Remember that? Trifecta. Okay, there's two parts of the trifecta, and she was apparently which one was she? Kobe. All right, so now we're starting to build up our little web here. Let's see, Brendan Paul. Diddy assistant from, I don't know, like 2022 to 2024-ish. All right, he was also allegedly the rug mule. Remember that? Okay, so here we're starting to get here. So we saw text messages between Christina, Karam, and Jane. We saw text messages between Cassie and Christina Karam. We saw text messages between them and Diddy himself, which I'm gonna put up here. Okay. I'll just put him here for now. We also need to put a Robin Greenhill. Web building in real time. I know. Teresa said, what's going on? This is something I have been promising to do for pretty much since I started covering this case. But it's like, as you can see, a little bit time consuming, a little bit tedious. Let's make him a little bigger. But I think like it is easier. Like when I make videos that, like normally before I started covering this trial, when I would make videos, I would often use like a web like this, because it's easier to say like, okay, this person texts this person, you know, this person broke up with this type of thing. But as you're building them, it can be kind of time consuming because you got to move stuff around as you add new stuff. And so it makes sense and, you know, all that stuff. So there's that. But, yeah, visual learner here as well. Yeah, I try to be organized. Thank you so much to Mark Girl Felisa for the $5 super chat. The jury is on a break, so I figured that was as good a time as any. Thank you, Linda, for the $2 super chat. Linda Gorman with your blue lipstick. Shout out to you. I absolutely love your webbing charts. Thanks so much. Thank you, Jennifer. Can't stop thinking about Gatorade. I know. Thank you, Jenny, for the 10 CHF. Jenny Sescon. Thanks so much, Brittany Shameless, for the $1.99. If Diddy calls them to testify, can they refuse? Well, I think they... Okay, so they can be subpoenaed to testify. And then if they don't testify, then the judge can make them testify. But if they're being charged at all, they don't have to testify. They have to be given an immunity order if they're under, you know, at risk of being charged or at risk of being, you know, facing criminal charges for this. And they are at risk. They do look like they wind right in there as an enterprise. Thank you so much for that $1.99. Nat, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Nat said, opinion. Yay, showing up. was him sending a message to Diddy. Watch what you say and your next move. This wasn't for support. Ye has been vocal in the past about Lou Taylor. That's why he wasn't allowed in. Well, I'm wondering, has Diddy flipped on Lou Taylor? Thank you for that $9.99. Could TriStar own and rent properties Diddy paid? Yes, that is what I'm asking, Virginia. How did she find this apartment, this house? Who was paying for it? Does TriStar own it? Does TriStar's friend own it? Maybe not. But it's something I am wondering. Shout out to you, member, for 9 months. Shout out to Sheena, member for 2 months. I was a member, lost my card, had to resub. So glad to be here, especially since BJ knows what's really up. I mean, I don't really, but I'm just making guesses. Thank you so much to Proud Army Mom. Thank you so much to your child for their service, Carrie. Shout out to you becoming a member. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Lori Ingram, for the $4.99. Is KK a plant? I don't know. I haven't here. I'm wondering why she was so belligerent with putting some of this stuff in there, Lori. Thank you for the $4.99. Thank you, Mark, again for that $5 super chat. Web is webbing. But web is webbing. Shout out to Heal with Nona Black TV for the $9.99. Thank you for all you do. Love the web diagram. Thank you. Thank you. This is like kind of my like specialty. I kind of like, this is like, I really love doing these. So it just helps me understand everything better. Over here, we have the Joe Sherman webbing. I tried to tell everybody about this. They tried to Britney Spears, this football player. Y'all know Jack Rabbit, Janoris Jenkins? Do y'all know who this is? I think he's retired now. But he almost didn't even go play on the Rams even after he got drafted because they were trying to force him, Jeff Fisher, according to him, according to Janoris Jenkins, they were trying to force him to use this woman for his managing his money, and he didn't want to do that. Anyway, should have started a new web so I could stop getting so distracted. Heal with Nana Black TV. Thanks so much for that super chat. Caroline said, I don't think that's why Ye showed up. I think he's just a narcissist. He wanted everyone to know he was there. Mimi Lightseer said, I love when the web gets to webbing so we can see all of the lies and collusion. Listen, innocent until proven guilty. Let's see if they've come back from the break. They gave the jurors a break. Okay, they're back. Next question after the break. What does this exhibit show? Well, this is messages between Diddy and D-Rock. Now, D-Rock's real name is Damian Butler. People have thought that this means that one of Diddy's butlers is going to be brought up. No. This is D-Rock. He was in security for Diddy. So what does this exhibit show? It shows messages of Diddy and D-Rock and also Mia. Now, Mia was another assistant. So maybe this is a fifth assistant. Mia was another assistant. Okay, turn the screens off and turn the screens off to the public and the press. So they're going to show a hidden secret exhibit. Okay, but that gives me time to put Mia. Let me make a poll. I'm going to make a poll in the chat real quick about when I'm going to make the web. Would y'all rather see me like making the web? Or wait, no, that's not what I want to go to. I want to go to this. Would y'all rather see me making the web? Or would you rather me just leave up whatever's on the screen? I'm not making any promises about, what I'm going to do, but I do want your input for once. I'm going to do a poll. Okay, so what's my question? My question is, when I'm doing web work, TM, everyone's about to start saying the web is webbing, and I'm not going to get credit for creating it after all of the After all of the abuse I've suffered from saying the web is webbing, I'm not even going to get credit for it. While I'm doing web work, show it or wait till finished. Web work, not root work, okay? Don't do that. Oh, I did it wrong. Hold on, let me remove this. In the poll, hold on, I did it wrong. When I'm doing webbing, drafting, I'll say that. You want to see or just wait till finished? See. Wait. The poll's not up
What I
yet.
miss, y'all? What I miss?
Okay. So we'll do that. Goodbye on that. Which I'll vote on that. Again, I mean, it might be 100%. We don't want to see it, and I might still do it. But I just want to take a poll. It's just for vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Everybody, vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Vote in the poll.
Let me see what her poll is. Hold on.
We're back to Inner City Press. Please read D-Rock's messages. Okay, D-Rock said, "Love you, man. If you need a friend, I'm here. I'll call you back. Talking to the kids." Wait, let me start making also a list.
Oh, I can't see it because I'm watching it from the breakdown playlist. What was her poll about?
Who I need to put in the web. That would help. Because, y'all, I mean, I have a really good memory, but I prefer to not have to use it. Like, I like stuff just written out right there. Don't have to recall it in my mind. So I'm going to go D-Rock needs to be on there. Mia needs to be on there.
Yep. Capricorn Jones. Capricorn Clark. Needs to be on there.
Definitely got to put Lou Taylor on there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got to put Robin on there. Okay. Please read D-Rock's messages. D-Rock said, "Love you, man. If you need a friend, I'm here." Diddy said, "I'll call you back. Talking to the kids." Okay, then Mia said, "Where are you?"
Excuse me.
No, sorry, excuse me. This is different. This is like a lot of text messages all over the place, y'all. Please read D-Rock's messages. Okay, "Love you, man. If you need a friend, I'm here." That's to Diddy. Diddy texts him back, "I'll call you back. Talking to the kids." Then D-Rock to Mia, "Where are you?" Now, remember D-Rock was the security guard.
Now,
Allegedly, apparently didn't work for Diddy anymore.
do you think they got D-Rock's messages without getting D-Rock's phone? D-Rock is working with the feds.
But these are texts between Mia. So first it's D-Rock. So now we're talking about D-Rock. Okay. The first thing we did was we read messages from these summary charts from KK.
Because they took KK's phone.
After the messages from the summary charts, excuse me. After the questions for KK, then they moved on to Jane's text messages and communication. After Jane, then now they're moving on to D-Rock. Now, all of these three, KK, Jane, and D-Rock, all of them had messages to some similar people like Diddy and other assistants, et cetera. But KK's on the web. She was the first one I put on there.
D-Rock is working with the feds.
I know.
It's
I
official.
put Diddy and KK at the top.
And that Roger dude
on there. Definitely gotta put Fahim. So let's catch up with this first. So we're in D-Rock. We're in the D-Rock message lands. Okay, we already saw KK's. We already saw some of Jane's. This is
Where's
all
one
because
stop?
this one witness that's on the stand right now is talking about this summary chart. It's 33 pages. It's 33 pages, and it's a summary of hundreds, probably thousands of pages of stuff. So D-Rock and Diddy, there's one message between them right there. "Love you, man. Call me if you need anything, whatever." And then Diddy's like, "I'm gonna call you back. I'm talking to my kids." Okay, cool. So then there's another set of text messages. This is D-Rock to Mia. And I think this is the government trying to show or trying to prove that D-Rock was trying to obstruct.
My music is messy.
Where are you? D-Rock says to Mia. This is another anonymous witness. She said Virginia Beach. D-Rock then texted Mia's number to Diddy. Okay, Mia then texts D-Rock back. I didn't have my phone. I was scuba diving.
That's when she said she lied. Because she threw the phone behind the couch.
Says, we're opening up a new restaurant on the 17th. He says he doesn't want anything from you. Mia texts D-Rock back. Super smart to stay in your bubble. Girl, I don't know. But he didn't, because he was
just landing in Miami at the same time. Let me bring you guys into that conversation. So when D-Rock texted her and asked Mia, where are you? She was in Virginia Beach. That was when she found out about, I think it was when she found out about Cassie's lawsuit, and D-Rock was trying to make sure she wasn't a threat. Diddy was trying to get in touch with her. And when Diddy called her, she threw her phone behind the sofa. Remember she said that? And she said she told D-Rock she had been scuba diving all day and didn't have her phone. And he said Diddy don't want nothing from you. And Diddy texted her and said he needed help jogging his memory and called himself Love. Because they were trying to get in her ear to find out what she knew and change the story she remembered.
Okay. So the jury is seeing another summary chart. This time it's messages involving Diddy, Mia, who is an assistant, and Diddy's former security guard, D-Rock. These are from November 19th, 2023. So just 3 days after Cassie's lawsuit was filed.
Right.
D-Rock texted Diddy, quote, need to hear your voice, bro. Love you. Diddy said, thank you for checking on me. Rally, appreciate you. Love you.
I believe he spelled it like that too.
Those texts came days after Diddy's ex, Cassie, filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of R and physical abuse. The suit was filed on November 16th. It was settled a day after. The witness, Miss Sankar, is a summary witness that a government employee used by the prosecution to submit summary charts into evidence in an attempt to make things more clear. These charts are meant to show the jury messages and other information that haven't been discussed in testimony but were submitted into evidence. Diddy's mom is in attendance.
Well, her nasty
children
ass
have attended on other days. They are not yet.
Tupac said, fuck you and your motherfucking mama. He knew some shit. Mason Betha talked about his mom too. Said every mom's name. That's why he house to get out of jail. He got a whole enterprise in his mama's name. But she right here wearing dollar store wigs.
Just reading the Independent update. Yeah, there's another potential issue with another juror. I don't know if y'all were all in here earlier this morning, but juror number 6 is out, but there's another juror issue. We don't know who has the issue with it, if it's Diddy's side, if it's the government. We'll find out later this afternoon.
I'll find out tomorrow.
But yeah.
It's already tomorrow, ain't it? Yep. It's 12:16 a.m. in Korea. They're probably going to lunch in about an hour. That's when I'm going to let you guys go and let you go watch, not let you, but send you over to that Surprise Witness TV. Y'all can watch whoever you want.
The thread is starting to glitch.
It's that Google Cloud server.
Anybody saying KK got immunity?
No,
if that's
she
being
didn't.
reported, that is news to me.
Thank you, Lisa.
But like a lot of times people start flooding inner city presses, like spamming his threads, and then you can't see what he's actually saying. Okay.
Thank y'all for hitting the like button, helping spread the word that we're over here doing what we're doing. I'm grateful to you for that. Share the link too on Facebook.
So we're looking at
Instagram,
text
everywhere.
D-Rock. We're looking at D-Rock and his text messages to different people here and there. Diddy and Mia specifically. So Mia says to D-Rock, I am on this island off the coast of Honduras. D-Rock, and remember, Mia said D-Rock was like one of her closest friends when she worked there. Like that was like, she would have said that was her best friend.
Her brother, yep. He tried to send her some money too.
Honduras, D-Rock said, let me know how I can send you something.
Right.
Mia said, I never ask for anything. He said, what? I'm not allowed to send, well, specifically, I'm allowed to send my sister a gift. And remember, she said she felt betrayed by him for that. She felt betrayed by that.
Later on in that conversation, she found out he was on his way to Miami. He just landed in Miami.
You know, this, like, you know, trying to pay her off basically for Diddy. Anne Brannigan from Washington Post has an update. Court has resumed, and Ananya Sankar, a paralegal specialist at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, is walking through another summary exhibit showing years of correspondence between Diddy's security guard, Damian Butler, aka D-Rock, and others in his orbit. Over the past 5 weeks, the government has portrayed Butler as part of the Combs enterprise, a pivotal component of its racketeering case against Diddy. Yeah, Kanye is supposed to come back to court again.
How does anybody know that?
Okay, let me do some things for this. Web. I need to look up D-Rock Damian Butler.
Hopefully y'all saw that update on Kanye West in Canada.
Oh, is there like a bunch of D-Rocks? Is this him? This seems like him, right? Is this him right here? Someone tell me if this is the correct Damian Butler D-Rock. Is this him? Someone tell me.
He got on a Biggie shirt. He from New York. I can't see why not.
Anybody gonna tell me if this is D-Rock? Yeah,
there's some similarities.
Donna said that's him. Okay. Because I feel bad dragging just random unsuspecting people who they not even talking about into this whole thing. You know, like anybody could be D-Rock, you know, like I don't know, but I mean I guess it's less likely somebody could be Damian Butler, aka D-Rock, aka also still in New York. But girl, I mean, who knows? I don't know.
I thought he was in the Poconos with his wife.
Let's go back to Inner City Press.
I can't help but ask how he get the money to start a restaurant with his wife on the salaries that P. Diddy was paying them. Wasn't nobody working for him making 6 figures. Okay. And that's not a lot of money anymore.
Y'all, the web. Let's do a little more webbing. Let's do a little more web work. Yes, Annie said, when is Brandon going to testify? Could be today. But definitely this week. All right, let's do a little more web work. Okay, here's D-Rock. We'll put him up here.
I think she should be
Put like
using
we'll do like the
diddydocket.com.
Diddy in the middle, and then we'll call this the alleged so-called possible enterprise. Put them over here. We need to put Mia. She goes over here with the other assistants. We'll put the assistants there. I want to put the girlfriends over here, the guests. We have security here. That's D-Rock. We need Fahim. We have, let's do them over here. Where should security go? Here? All right, we'll put, let's see if we can do a dollar or something. Let's see. No, let's try this. $1?
Excuse me.
Yeah, here we go. Make $1 right here and put it behind them. Does that make it obvious what's going on with them? They're the dollar people.
All right, I'm gonna make an executive decision to release y'all now. I know I said I'd wait an hour until they go to lunch, but they're just going over text messages and phone calls we've already seen. If Brendan does testify later, that's going to be a really, really good testimony, but I'll most likely be asleep. So I'm going to release you guys now. I'm going to let you guys go on to the rest of the internet to find out more about this. I recommend that you go over to That Surprise Witness TV. There's also a really good channel called Down the Rabbit Hole that is reading the transcripts from the day before and for the court. So that has some more specific information. Let me go ahead and get this biscuit ready, because I think that's what we're gonna do. Let me go get a pair of tongs, because I'm sure the biscuit is hot. I think it's time to taste the biscuit, which I think I'm about ready to taste the biscuit. We got a lot of information tonight, though, so far. I don't know if we got anything new, except for now we know KK is involved. I do believe that D-Rock has to be working with the feds. They got his phone. Either that or he's a co-defendant, but it's more likely that he went on ahead and gave up that information to avoid his own charges. He may be testifying.
Grab your stuff. I got us a place to play.
What is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's a place called Dante's or something. And they've only allowed
Let's
us to
go
do
and taste this
song.
biscuit.
So
I think
gotta
the
make
time
it a
is
good one.
right. The oven is done. I heard the bing. It smells like biscuits. Let's taste this biscuit.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings. Taste the biscuit.
Thank you guys for joining me on this journey.
Of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. Get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese. 'Cause when you're at KFC, you got that special sauce to stir my curiosity.
She getting that knee.
Just give me a 5-piece meal.
Oh, what a deal.
A big old box, it's all for me.
All for me. All for me.
You know I'll take coleslaw on the side. I could tell you wanted to try
The potato wedges. One day I'll tell y'all the history of this song. It's actually pretty interesting. I saw a documentary about this song yesterday. It's a pretty cool story.
the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings. Get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings.
Not on my chicken wings.
Take us out, Moose.
Taste the biscuit, bitch. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for everything. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for staying awake with me. Well, you're awake. I'm the one having trouble because it is 12:27 a.m. in Korea and I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good night. See you tomorrow. Good night, Lisa. Thanks for hanging in there. Have a beautiful day. Have a prosperous, successful, peaceful, joyful day. You deserve it. Thank you for hitting that like button on the way out. Thank you for sharing this show and joining me on Patreon. And thank you for saving the breakdown playlist because everything goes there. I will be pulling some of the early Diddy episodes off of YouTube. They will only be available on Patreon. Most of the ones that include him liking nut on his nipples and all that stuff. So join us on Patreon if you want to keep up with the old stuff. If you haven't seen those episodes yet, that's where you're going to have to catch them on Patreon, on Patreon, on Patreon, Patreon, Patreon.